Man, I think that was a win for everybody, because what they say, coach, if everybody is upset, then the decision sounds like it was good.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and sitting in this week for my tag team partner is Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, how are you on this Wind Up Wednesday edition, sir?
Doing great, doing great.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the suspension being announced. Okay, we're going to talk about still wanting to be like Mike. We're going to talk about some player and organizational moves. In segment 2, we're going to give you an NBA draft preview. And in segment 3, we're going to break down public charter flights in a way that I've never thought I would be as we talk about the WNBA. But first, Will, I think it is apropos that you're on this show because I believe you and I had talked about this on the air. The NBA has suspended Memphis guard Ja Morant for 25 games, as predicted by Dr. Adams, to start the 23-24 season because of conduct detrimental to the league. The Grizzlies suspended Morant from team activities May 14th after a video on social media circulated showing the player brandishing a firearm. The suspension will come with conditions. Morant will be ineligible to participate in any public league or team activities, including preseason games during the suspension. He's due to make around $33.5 million this year. Now he stands to lose about $7.5 million. The NBA PA expressed at the announcement that it was displeased with the length of the suspension, and the NBA PA would explore all options and next steps. Will, any thoughts on it? And should he appeal the suspension?
Man, I think that was a win for everybody, because what they say, coach, if everybody is upset, then the decision sounds like it was good. It sounds like everybody was just like, I guess, kind of. But this is a win. This is a win, coach. Remember, at the end of the day, one, he gets to kind of get away from the NBA. Nobody's going to be talking about him. Nobody's going to be, doing his thing. He's going to let him do his, do his thing and go through the process, which is great. He's not gone for the year. He's not gone for the season. You know, and at the end of the day, the NBA is a business. They still have Ja Morant commercials. They still have Ja Morant sneakers. They know that people are saying, hey, we understand it ain't gonna get the whole year. And people look at it differently because it's not like Gilbert. Gilbert was at the end of his career, so to speak. He was, his knee was kind of messed up a little bit. He was missing games. He was missing stuff like that. And that was like the end of straw. Plus the situation was a lot different and a lot more scary. But I think everybody can live with Ja Morant, with 25 games.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't say my tag team partner. I talked to him before the show, and he wanted a longer suspension. He wanted a message sent. And if you follow Coach Franchise, you hear the Twitter handle at the end of every show. You can follow his thoughts on that. Couple of quick things before I really dive in. He's suspended from all team activities, and I got to pause on that too, because when you're away and this is all you've had, I hope they're allowed to check on him. I hope they're allowed, because the mental health piece, man, if you took me away from you guys for that amount of time, your family too, you're a part of my day to day. So, as much as punishment should be redirection. So there should be acknowledgement of the issue, but we also have to redirect. One of the things I thought about with the 25 games and why I thought it was going to be 25 games is first ascension was like 8 games. So this is kind of triple that. And also he'll be back before Christmas. And yeah, I don't think the league's not going to mention that in passing that let's see if Memphis is on Christmas Day. In addition, he's cost himself a lot more money because of the new rules in place. He will not be able to get all NBA, all postseason awards, because he won't play in the designated amount of games. So He has an opportunity to rehabilitate. He has an opportunity to do better. We're not seeking perfect, we're seeking better. So if I'm him, I'm not appealing the suspension. The NBA PA, I have never been overly impressed with their foresightedness with some of the deals that they've made. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's fair for them to actually say something. I mean,
Oh, you
it's
got to
kind of
say
like
something. You have to.
lip surf, yeah. But point, Grizzlies play the Warriors on. Oh, not this year.
No,
I thought
no, no.
no next
Next
year.
season, I don't think the schedule's been
Yeah, they
released
haven't
yet.
done it yet. They haven't done it
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
So that'll be something to look at this summer. All right. Fans, I still want to be like Mike, as the commercial said. Michael Jordan has agreed to sell his majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets for approximately $3 billion. When Jordan bought the team, it was for like 265 million. Once the sale's complete, he will also keep a minority stake and maintain a presence with the franchise. Jordan has not been the best owner. He has not been the best talent evaluator. The Charlotte is terrible, but they're getting better. And with new ownership and some draft picks and some, halfway decent players, the cupboard is not bare. But yeah, it's time to go, Mike. Time to go. You're 60. Relax. Enjoy the rest of your life. Drink wine and have cigars and travel. Jordan Brand is on football gear. I mean, so you don't need all of this. And as I get older, I chase happy. I don't. I chase happy. So if this makes Jordan happy, and he deserves all of it. Any thoughts on Jordan stepping down as owner, sir? Even though he was the only black majority owner in the league.
Unfortunately, that's probably a detraction. You know what I'm saying? Everybody with the only black majority owner. But hey, more golf, MJ. Go do your thing, man. Go get, like you said, he doesn't want to pay players. He doesn't draft well. And for somebody to give you $3 billion to get the hell out,
And I get to stick around though,
yeah,
because I got a minority stake. So yeah,
exactly. So
the NBA is not going to lose money in the next few years. Not losing
oh
anything.
yeah, for sure. Less
Okay. Teddy P is in the house. I think I better let it go. Looks like another love TKO. The Washington Wizards have engaged in serious trade talks with the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat regarding Bradley Beal. Um, it is recently reported that Beal and the Wizards are working together because Bradley Beal has a no trade clause in his contract, and good for him to have a no trade clause because those Bamas will trade you anywhere. Will, I think he has some type of relationship with the Phoenix front office. I think his agent's son or his there's some type of relationship with the front office in Phoenix and Miami. He played at Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So, where do you think Bradley Beal should go, man?
Man, it's tough. I think he should go to Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix, I think he could be the third. I mean, imagine if he's the third option. I mean, that kid is going to be amazing if he can stay. But he gets COVID twice a season ever since it started. I don't know what that kid is doing out there. Both are good teams. I mean, Miami is a great team. I don't know if he will fit in with the culture as them. He's
Well,
not or that may change his aura in terms of how his work habit. Both are good options. If it was me going to Miami, doing my thing.
well, you're a GM now. Miami can package several first round picks with a Tyler Hero and give the Wizards future assets and a guy that can give you buckets every night. The Suns, on the other hand, got a few more problems. Okay. Um, they don't have as many assets. The Suns can offer a trade package of DeAndre Ayton and Landry Shamet. But do you want that? I don't know if you want that or not. So, okay. Well, finally in this segment, congrats. Golden State Warriors have promoted Mike Dunleavy Jr. To their new general manager position, and that was announced last week. Well, let's make us all sound old. Dunleavy is 42. We remember his entire career.
Right. In
uh,
college.
he is a national champion at Duke. His dad was a longtime coach. He played like 15 years in the league, so he's done his time. He's well liked in the Golden State organization, and he's got some tough decisions to make, including whether or not they should keep Draymond and pay him. So as we close this segment, any thoughts about Dunleavy Jr. now being GM at Golden State?
Man, he has a great foundation to start. Myers kind of taught him how to do things and brought him in, and he's kind of seen. He's obviously he's a son of a coach, so he knows that aspect. He's been a player for 15 years. Good.
And he worked with that K guy.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah,
a bad guy to learn from.
exactly. And he could probably call that guy. He could probably talk to him and things like that. So he has all the information that he needs and the resources, man. So I think, and plus, you're not jumping into like a terrible team. You're not going to your team that's a playoff team with a couple you're 2 years away from winning a championship 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. Guys are getting older. Money's getting funny. And the money is going up, so you have to be very conscious.
And you're getting penalized for the mid-level player tax. It's like double tax. So while I got you, are we keeping Jordan Poole?
Nah, I'm not. Nah.
Are we keeping Draymond?
No.
So both of them.
Both of them should be gone. Both of them should be gone. Yeah, I would sooner than later, in my opinion.
All right. So fans, when we get back in segment 2, we're going to preview the NBA draft, which takes place this week. And our focus is a little different. We're going to talk about who's going to be in the green room. That's who our focus will be. We'll be right back on the iCoaches Podcast.
The CKA SAVE Project is an industry leader in advocating for student-athlete, academic, and athletic needs. Through academic and athletic enrichment, the CKA SAVE Project is on the forefront of the issues facing 21st century student-athletes. As student-athletes continue to struggle to find a better balance between academic and athletic success, the CKA SAVE Project offers academic and athletic services to support student-athlete academic success, including academic skills assessment, academic and athletic consulting, academic monitoring, academic and athletic workshops. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're going to do our own NBA draft preview. And unlike other shows that are going to predict who's going first, second, third, second round, all of that, we're going to talk about the green room invites. And Will, as we go through this list, which is in front of you, what does this tell you about the direction of the league? Are you upset like many pundits are that you haven't seen a lot of these guys play? I'm hearing this is a weak draft class, and man, I wish I was in Vegas for Summer League. Summer League is always around my anniversary time, and my wife has given me permission one year to just book our anniversary in Vegas, and I can watch Summer League games. So let's talk about a few of these players. So Victor Wembanyama has been invited to the green room. Are you on the Victor fan side, or you don't think, or is he overvalued? What do you think?
It kills me when you have a 7-foot guy who doesn't rebound. So it's just weird to me. So I'm not like on board yet, but I'm not have a reason to not.
Okay. Scoot Henderson from the G League Ignite is being invited. I like that the G League Ignite team is for the last couple of years developing players. That's what you're supposed to do. So if you choose not to go to college, and college is not for everybody, and you choose to jump right into being a professional, there's your opportunity. Some people have said, and it's okay, hey, if you go to college now, you can get paid, you can get an NIL, blah, blah, blah. Still got to go to class. This guy's a professional, and he's getting money, and he's learning from professionals. So run your own race, but I'm curious about that. Brandon Miller, despite his struggles off field, off court at Alabama as a freshman. Um, he's been invited. The twins, Amen and Arthur Thompson, they're from Overtime Elite. Now, Overtime Elite is going to give me pause now because they're losing their coach. And it was the guy from UConn. His name escapes me right now. But he is going, I believe, to the NBA. And his name will come to me at some point. I'm sorry. And he won the lawsuit against UConn. So anyway, Cam Whitmore, local guy. What's up, Pratt? He is invited. Jarris Walker, Anthony Black, two freshmen. Taylor Hendricks, another freshman. So you're starting to see this, Will. Freshman. Grady Dick from Kansas. Balai Koulibaly. He's from France as well. Kaysen Wallace, another freshman. Nick Smith Jr., another freshman. Derek Lively from Duke, another freshman. Kobe Buffkin, I barely remember him from Michigan, by the way.
Yeah.
Jalen Hood Shafino, Jet Howard, membership has its privileges. Jordan Hawkins, former student at Gaithersburg High School, great kid, good luck to him. And Keontae George, who has one of the best stories ever. So, Will, looking at it and looking at the bullet points, what is your thoughts on the NBA draft?
Youth is that's what they're looking for. Youth is looking for. It's still kind of crazy to me because remember they put the restriction in for going for college. You had to go for a year because the NBA was not.
That's an NBA rule. That's not a college rule.
Right, it's an NBA rule, right? But there was because they were not set up to really take on teenage kids. Every time we were seeing like tons of like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and they're flaming out because they don't have the structure. But now, let's go 20 years now. We've already now that's kind of like our standard. So why are you even have this archaic kind of rules when it's like now your structure is built to cater to younger players? You have handlers.
Because the older players want to keep that check, so they can pause it for a year. I've got the answer to that. By the way, it was Kevin Ollie that I could not remember, so that was bothering me, not knowing Kevin Ollie. So a lot of these teams keep looking for the next big thing, but this tells me about the direction of the league that if you're a sophomore, junior, senior, stay in college, get your degree, and hope you get picked up in the later rounds by a better team.
Yeah.
I am not upset that I haven't seen a lot of these guys play on TV because I'm a basketball person. I follow basketball. I'm not a casual fan. So I don't think this is a weak draft class. I think it's a draft class that if teams select based on their need and not get caught up, they could find some very good value and continue to develop their players, similar to Denver. I'm looking at Denver, and Denver drafted Michael Porter Jr. when everyone was sour on him because he had a bad back and he didn't perform well. And it was like, this kid can play, forget that.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick this kid up and I'm going to develop him. There was a kid that I had at Hood College, Devin Hill, Davon Hill and Devin Hill. They're two twins, and one had a ACL injury in high school, and this kid was a D1 talent, and ACLs heal. So modern medicine is modern.
Yeah,
it's not ancient. This is not Gale Sayers. So if you book it right, you're going to be okay. So good luck to all the players in the draft. We will be watching, having a good time. And unlike the NFL draft, you can get all these picks done in one night. So
remember, Coach, these kids are their dreams. This is the pinnacle of their career. I mean, for now, and this is happy for them. This is great. I think we get, caught up with the figuring out who's going to go and where you're going to be and where you're going to be in 5 years. And this is a blessing. This is testament to their families. It's a testament to their hard work. and that's excellent. So that's the one thing I want people that they like to forget. But this is actually like a celebration for
Yes.
a lot of guys. So that's
Well,
that's where.
well stated, well said. And when we get back, we're going to talk about the WNBA and some upgrades potentially to their travel, as well as our regular weekly news and notes about the WNBA. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
Why should student athletes use the CKA SAVE Project academic and athletic consulting services? Over the past 15 to 20 years, colleges, universities, professional sports teams, business organizations, and others have increased their use of consulting services to improve their decision-making processes and results. Over the same time, the athletic and academic landscape has changed for high school and college student athletes as the NCAA has raised initial academic eligibility requirements for student athletes while decreasing the number of transfer restrictions. Former college student athletes have noted that they were academic and athletically unprepared for the rigors of college. Let the CKA SAVE Project's close to 30 years of academic and athletic experience help guide student athletes to increase success as we work to help student athletes achieve the goal of obtaining a college degree. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3. All WNBA all the time. So here's some off-court updates. So here's the PG update. In the wake of Phoenix Mercury star Brittany Griner and her teammates getting harassed last week, the Mercury are changing travel plans. The most significant change is Griner's ability to fly charter for the remaining road games, an option that wasn't available at the start of the season. Media reports say that the Mercury might be able to use JSX public charter flights for the entire team, and that is what caused me pause, sir. So here's the solution that the WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert confirmed last week to media reports. Engelbert said that the JSX service was brought to the league's attention late last year, and now they're following up on it. The option might not be available for the entire team. It might be available, for the entire team and not just Griner, and other teams may jump on it. So let me tell you a little bit about JSX, and feel free, JSX, to be sponsors and supporters of the Odd Coaches Podcast and the CKA SAVE Project with this free public service announcement. It's a service allowed by the league for all teams, but with certain protocols in place. Their planes can hold up to 30 people, providing teams the option to buy out an entire flight. They should have enough to buy out an entire flight. They have a hub in Phoenix, but not in several other WNBA cities. And the airline's flights are on preset routes and preset times, which the WNBA has told teams they're not allowed by league rules to change. So they can't change the flight times or anything like that. JSX has the ability to create flights outside of its preset schedule, but those are generally more expensive, and that's what the WNBA prohibits. The league has said in a statement that before the season, the WNBA told the Mercury, who, like everybody else, booked their own travel, that they can do anything they wanted in terms of travel because they recognize the uniqueness of the situation. League-wide, as the WNBA faces increased pressure to move away from commercial flights, the league has allowed teams this season to fly on a public chartering service, JSX. Remember last year, the Liberty was fined $500,000. So JSX is not available in most WNBA cities. And I went to their website. I looked at it. Their prices are reasonable, Will. I'm kind of thinking about, hey, let's get the guys together. But we would have to fly to Phoenix to get on JSX just to fly to Las Vegas. So they do have limited flights. Okay. Will, I gave you a lot. You looked at the notes. What are your thoughts on this and it being a possible solution?
I think it's a solution. I think it's something that they should look into. I mean, if nobody's going to step up and have a real viable idea, solution, then then they should go. Then other teams should be like, hey, I found a market that I could jump in there and see if I can provide. It's kind of silly that we're not doing that already. It's kind of silly that the WNBA. I mean, even the college teams can fly easier than the WNBA players, and that's ridiculous to me. That's absurd. Honestly, it's one of those things that it's a black eye for the WNBA and the NBA. Somehow they can't collective come in and say this needs to change, and it's awful. It's terrible. But I'm happy that there's a company that's coming out there.
If you're bored, go check out their website because I love their little promotional video.
Well,
and again, the prices are quite reasonable, but we're based out of the DC area and they're not in any of the DC airports.
Yeah.
But literally, you drive your car, get it valeted, and you go straight to the plane. So interesting. All right. So on the court, the WNBA All-Star Game. Fan voting ends this coming week, and I believe it ends probably when the show comes out. It ends June 21st. So, yes, the day this is released, the fan voting ends. Fans contribute 50% of the vote, while current players account for 25%, and the media another 25%. You get 4 guards and 6 front court players with the best scores, calculated by averaging their weighted rank from fan vote, player vote, and media vote. And they'll be named starters. That group will be announced on June 25th, after which the league's head coaches will select 12 reserves who will be revealed July 1st. So we got All-Star Game stuff happening. The captains, the 2 All-Stars receiving the most fan votes, will draft their rosters on a special ESPN selection show on July 8th. The WNBA All-Star Game will take place in Las Vegas, baby, on July 15th, 8:30 p.m. prime time on ABC. So what day of the week is July 15th on? Saturday night is all right for fight. Will, looking at the All-Star voting list, any names catch your eye? We have the top 10 All-Star voting folks on the screen for you. Who's catching your eye, sir?
Always, Elena Delle Donne. It's always good to see represent from Washington. Always good to see, especially all the issues that she's overcome. That's been great. And then like Brittany Griner. I mean, shoot, man, we've been hitting all this stuff about Brittany Griner, about this and Russia and stuck and all this stuff. I'm glad she's back playing basketball. I'm glad she's healthy. I'm an All-Star. Haven't seen her play this year. I can't wait to watch her at the All-Star game. And she throws down a couple dunks. I need that. Aja Wilson, like watching her to play.
She is leading, and I think she's going to win top vote getter. And Stewie is second, fans. Brianna Stewart from the New York Liberty. I got to make sure I say the New York Liberty.
She is dirty. Yeah, she's good. She's real good.
I want to see Jewel Lloyd. I want to see her play. I want to see Jackie Young. And my girl Kelsey Plum is not in the top 10. We got to do something about that, man. Got to do something about that.
Whatever happened to Liz Cambage? Remember?
Now, remember, Will, or you don't remember, she had an issue with her team last year.
Yeah.
And she went to she got traded to LA, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she decided to take a step back from the WNBA, and I do not know if she is interested in coming back. She was one of my favorite players, but yeah, she's taking some time off, and hopefully she can get back in the league. But there's no rush, apparently, to get her on a roster. And that's the politest way to say it as we go to the OCP top 4. Las Vegas is still number 1. Connecticut's number 2. New York is number 3. And Will, they must have taken inspiration from the last time you were on. The Washington Mystics are 4. And I know Fowler mentioned them last week as well. Bottom 4. Phoenix is the worst team in the league right now. Okay. Seattle, Minnesota, and Indiana round that out. But Aaliyah Boston's going to get Indiana some victories this year. They're going to get them some victories this year. Games of the week, Friday, June 23rd on Ion Television. Dallas against the Los Angeles Sparks. And then Saturday night, Indiana versus Las Vegas on NBA TV. So we get to see Indiana played them well the last time. So hopefully we can get Aaliyah Boston a W this time. Any thoughts before we close out, sir?
Yeah, the All-Star at 8:30 p.m. on Saturday. Man, it's gonna be tough. I don't know if you're gonna catch that.
What are you talking about? Saturday night, Las Vegas,
8:30,
Nevada.
people are gonna be out. People are gonna be doing their thing. You know, if it was like 5 o'clock, then yeah, because that's like the pregame, you know. So you're sitting down, you're watching the game, you're eating a little dinner, you know, you may be at the home still, you know, pregaming. 8:30 is like, man, we're getting ready to go out, you know, at least my people, my age is.
Yes. Your people, your age. Well, the good news is the NBA Summer League will still be around. So everybody in basketball will be right in that hub. So that ought to be really, really good. I'm excited about that. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, sitting in for my buddy is Captain for Life, Will Cotton. I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, and we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.